What's up, dog? Man. Yeah, peep that leg workout. That shit's rough. I might be missing some cells here. I'm not paying attention right now. Yeah, I'm sick as fuck today. But I made it. Fuck it. We're gonna do this shit. Sicker than a dog. It's funny though, when you start to like really understand your body. Yesterday I took a nap and I woke up with like a tickle in my throat. And it wasn't going away. And then it started to feel more dry than like a tickle the more that I coughed. And I'm like, ah, shit. Milo! My dog keeps humping his bed. He literally dragged his bed from the corner of the room, dragged it underneath the bed, down the hallway, and is humping it on the stairs. Yeah, but I woke up and it was like a sore throat type deal. And then my head started bothering me. So I took some Advil. And then I woke up in the morning with like a blood pressure headache. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It was like a massive blood pressure headache, and I instantly took some Advil, and I guess because I don't know what the fuck happened, but I threw that shit up immediately within 30 seconds. I thought I was like, oh yeah, my alarm's not gonna ring for another 30 minutes. Let me just pop a quick Advil. By the time I wake up, no more headache. Was not the case. 15-minute closure, 15-minute close bearish. We barely have a bottom wick on this 15-minute time frame, but we did close below the most recent range and this prior range here. We're coming up to create a top wick first. We have a lot of areas of rejections here. What's up, Hank? We have a lot of areas of rejection here. Oh, something that I'm going to tell you guys that I added onto my chart. I added the VWAP. The easier it is for me to find levels, the better I can trade. So what did I do? The second the VWAP aligned with price, what do I notice here? That every time that we reject it, we either use it as a resistance or as a very, very strong support. So once the market opened and I saw that we were using this as resistance, I took a short on the closure below the most recent range. You can see this clear as day, right? So Price created a high, and we're now bearish for the day. The daily high was somewhere around right here, and we're starting to make a daily low. So, um, so price started to become bearish for the day. So my trend changed to bearish the second that our daily low started breaking here. So once the daily low started breaking, I waited for a range 1 breakout. We closed below this, closed. This was my range 1 breakout. I took a sell on the rebreak of the low here, and I held it to this level here. So we barely hit my TP here, so I closed it, and then we flew through it. But damn, zoom. How about now? So this was earlier. This was at 6:07 market open. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's see. So we just had a 15-minute closure. The 15-minute came up, grabbed orders. Not quite to this area here. Remember, KL, not the VWAP. Not the very wet ass. The very wet ass. I bet you $100 that's how Cardi B came up with that song. Fucking Offset was probably trying to learn how to trade, and he's like, "Look, babe, I'm using the VWAP," and she goes, "VWAP, very wet ass puss," and that's how whatever the name of that song came about. What's up, Nick? So this drove 21 pips. It would have hit my my entry was in the middle of this gap here. My entry was on the wick down here. So once this closed below, we had the wick down. That's the entry that I took. And price actually did come back to my entry by 5 pips. Wow. What up, Jonathan? That's pretty dope. Don is up 24% on his account on stream this year. Well, in total. The beginning of the year was like a very rough start, and homie recovered very, very nicely. Well, yeah. 10 pips, 20 pips is like a 0.5% for him. So he is risking a little bit more than we would be comfortable doing. Like in some trades, he can risk like up to like 8% or 10%. We have an hourly closure coming up in 8 minutes. I'm getting back. Get him back there. The slow grind. Slowly but surely. Use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Reach your bed, brother? Yeah, bro. I'm short. This is how I climb onto my bed. That's for my dog. My dog's too little to jump on the bed. So he needs some stairs, whatever he wants to come say what's up. Let's see how he moves. Sell the target. It's only 15 pips here. Yeah, Jonathan. So this is what I'm looking at, right? We're on a bearish trend down after rejecting these highs. Last time we rejected these highs, we came all the way down to this level. We don't necessarily need to come all the way down there just in case price is bullish. So you have a mediator right here. Maybe we can up this level to like right here. So we have like a level that we can possibly hit before price reverses, creating that bottom wick for the daily, which is here at like 10 pips away. So we are getting a closure below the most recent range. We closed below all of these ranges here. This is the range that we're in right now, right? We closed into the range, We tried to break out, failed, broke back into range, rejected, turned this into a resistance, and now we're coming back down, closing below the support that was made here. So when we reject off this level here, it takes us down here. When we reject off this level here, it takes us to the bottom of the range. When we reject off of these highs up here, it takes us to the bottom of the range. So we've already rejected this high, which is right here. We've already rejected this high, which is right here. And then we've already came back up and rejected again, which is right here. So now that we're closing back into these ranges, can we reject off like this level? Which it looks like we're doing now for a continuation down. So taking a sell stop would be decent, but we know that this is a very strong level of support here. And it's only 10 pips away. 15 pips away. We have enough room to catch a nice scalp on our way down there. But this 15 is also going to close no bottom wick. I have a 30 level on spot at 3009.781. 'What's up, dog? 30 seconds for this hourly closure. The hourly is going to close with the bottom wick. We broke the previous hourly low. We do have a strong hourly level down here. That's what's up, bro. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to sell my crib and move out. Tired of being a homeowner. What up, Aaron? Nope, no trades yet. I took a trade at 6 at market open, but since I started streaming, nothing. Hourly closure. The hourly closed back below this most recent range. We haven't broken down below this range left. We don't have much room here, man. We have 8 pips till this hourly low. If it wicks past it, we can get something. I don't have that 30-minute level here on features. And I was gonna take a rebreak of this low, but we have Go to your settings, more settings, and then it's gonna be on your right here on your symbols where it says electronic trading hours background. Just change the color. Oop. What scale? I just turned the, oh, the scale. I just changed the color. This turpy. This was on before. It automatically turned on session breaks or electronic trading hours for everybody. I just burned your eye. The only reason I haven't taken any buys is because I want to be at an hourly level. We rejected this level a lot. Low, 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 and barely moved. What up, dude? How you doing, Chris? What up, Santos? How are you, bro? Oh, that's crazy, Vicky. I didn't even realize. That's hilarious. Your name was Aaron. Elections running in Canada. Yeah, futures is looking suspect. Those buys would have played out. We can possibly pump, but remember we've already broken back down into this most recent range, and we're on a bearish trend. So how far is it really gonna drive before we start rejecting back down? Nice, Santos. Nice. I'll tell you one thing. Whatever tea my mom gave me, that shit's got me pissing up a storm. Holy shit. I'll be right back. My bad. I'm trying to hold my cough in because I'm fucking coughing like a bitch. The entry for the buys were here. Yeah, here. Damn, snow. It is 77 over here. $15-minute time frame opened up. We closed bullish. We closed respecting this level. We closed respecting this level. We're coming up to create a top wick first. We have a slight money printer set up on the 5. We tried to drive and it failed. Let's see how we react here. I'm gonna market execute some sells here. Damn, that kind of spreads were ass. I was looking more like here. I guess it was a 1 pip difference. I was looking for more of a sell stop here. Yeah, don't involve me in nothing about politics in Canada. I don't even know how our own politics work. Yeah, we got a lot of Canadians in the chat. I am a American. Technically, I'm Cuban, born in Cuba. Immigrated here when I was a toddler. I was expecting a rebreak of the low after this lower high here. After rejecting the resistance, creating a lower high, closing below, rejecting, and then starting to drive down. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate you, everybody. Drop some likes, man. Drop a like. I don't know who that is. Ana de Armas. That's ugly. We have a clean range here. For your own entries, if you guys were looking for buys, you can 100% take buys. I'm a scalper. My entries can be in drawdown and then eventually come back into profit, or vice versa, you know? Looks like this 14 level was strong. In the US, there are certain God-given rights that no matter how you vote, no matter if the majority of the country is against, those God-given rights will not be taken from you. That's the one big major difference from a democracy and a republic like the US is. We have like 90% democracy, and the other 10% is just immovable law that will never change. In other countries, you can vote against your own rights, and if the majority of the people are brainwashed into thinking that you don't need your rights anymore, you can literally vote them away. Completely different here. The founding fathers knew that you could brainwash American citizens into voting against their best interest. They knew, and that's why I believe they wrote all of our rights, all of our inalienable rights, God-given rights. These are rights that no matter what, it doesn't matter if they fucking put a chip in everybody's brain and everybody goes to the polls tomorrow saying, take away my rights right now, and snaps their fingers, it's never gonna happen. It can't. That's the difference. Like in the UK, your own people voted for taking your guns away. Your own people voted for you to lose the right to protect yourself. Your own people screwed you. Then what happens? Bad guys walk in and they're like, oh, there's no law to have guns in your house in the UK. If I go in with 3, 4 guys and a machete, you can't do anything but let me take your shit. Whereas here, brother, I have 30 rounds loaded up on 2 clips. Do you think you're gonna pass my front door? I'm sorry, but it's just never gonna happen. Especially not with my sign out on the outside that says, I shoot first, ask questions later. My HOA made me take it off because I can't have that sign, but it was there. Here on my desk, I got the baby one. And then, for when I get real scared, big boy. One clip, 2 clips, 3 clips, 4 clips. I mean, my brother, if you can outrun that, I will give you everything in my house. And look, foldable so that I can carry it on my body whenever I want. Yeah, bro. The thing is that I hear some noise on the outside. I check my cameras. I don't see anything, and I'm like, cool. If they try to break in my door first, they can break my sliding door. Sliding doors are easy to break. I have 2 patio doors, one in the front, one in the back. So my front door is literally nothing. If they want to, with a small little hammer, they go bing, 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 break the sliding doors, and take my shit. But they gotta come all the way upstairs, brother. Yeah, so every state has a little bit different rules. Like in Texas, you have the castle doctrine or whatever. Um, 30-minute just closed, 30-minute closed. Doji, we're coming up for a top wick first. 15-minute close, bearish back into range. Can we get a dump here? So every state's got a bit different rules, right? I was contemplating taking another pineapple here, taking a pineapple here, but excuse me, that was like 15 pips of range. But in Texas, you have what's called the castle doctrine, where rules are a bit different. You have a little bit more rights on your property. Here in Florida, they have to actually come inside. If they come inside, I have all the right in the world. Um, if they're in my front yard, I really can't do anything. Yeah, I'm gonna sell right now. I am 10 pips negative on this trade. I'm sorry, I don't post this thingy. Yes, the chief of police in Florida, that was of a county, not the whole Florida. That was of one county. So it depends, right? There's laws. And if somebody breaks into my home and I end up unaliving them, their family can still sue me if they want to. Their family will go get a lawyer. The lawyer will look into the case, look into all the evidence, and find any loophole, any sort of small little thing to where they can get you. You can win the case. That's not an issue. The problem is you paying for your lawyer and all that stuff. But in certain counties, they'll say, we're not going to allow anybody to sue you, and the state's not going to pursue any charges ever if it's clear as day self-defense. So, if you have no, what is it? Right here, USCCA. With this, it used to be $10 a month. It's now $30 a month because of fucking inflation. But basically, this gives you a lawyer and up to $4 million in help. In case anything happens, and all you do is pay your monthly fee, and they give you up to $4 million in lawyer fees. So it's a different trade here. This is underneath the VWAP and we're above it over here. It's a completely different trade. On XAU, it looks way more like buys than here. Especially now that we're about to break the highs here. We already have a high here. That was a 5-minute closure bullish. Our 30-minute still has no bottom wick. What the hell? I would be looking for a rebreak of the high here if I wasn't in these cells. Yeah, see here we have a triple top, quadruple top, all perfect areas rejecting off of the VWAP. Everything is rejecting perfectly. This is a 30-minute level that is starting to that it reject off of, but here it's completely different. The story is 100% different here. The fuck? That ain't even it. Why can't I edit this, you bitch? I guess it's not gonna save. Let's see if we can dump at least 20 pips. Yeah, Don was exactly right. Listen.
This won't work for some, yes. Maybe. I don't understand why they 10K a month. Like, you need a 10K a month.
What the fuck?
I don't understand why day trade just won't work for some, yes. Many of you guys are chasing, like, searching this magical number of, like, 10K a month. Like, you need to make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month to be successful. You can't make 10K a month if you can't even make $100 a month. Understand why day trade just won't work for some of you guys. Many of you guys are chasing, like, searching this magical number of, like, 10K a month. Like, you need to make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month to be successful. You understand why day trade just won't work. You can't make 10K a month.
Bro, this video is playing like both sounds at the same time. What the fuck? It's playing the sound back to back.
I understand why day trade just won't work for some of you guys. Many of you are chasing, like, searching this magical number of, like, 10K a month. Like, you need to make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month to be successful. You can't make 10K a month if you can't even make $100 a month. When you can't even make $10 a month consistently. Some guys he make $10 a month easily, and then just say, "Fuck it, that's not enough. I need to make 10K a month." And that's like over leveraging, over trading, just to get to that 10K. Like, what if you just finishing green first consistently? What if you just constantly finishing green each month? Well, don't you think at some point those numbers will increase, those lots will increase? I don't understand why day trade just won't work for some of you guys. Many of you guys are chasing, like, searching this magical number of, like, 10K a month. Like, you need
That is so true, bro. He's like, if you can make $10 a month, let's say that's 10 pips. If you can do 10 pips a month, 120 pips a year, consistently, non-stop, perfected, and you have that down pat, 120 pips a year can make you a millionaire, believe it or not. If you can literally do 120 pips consistently a year, do the math, 120 pips. So let's say you have 20 Apex accounts. You drop another 20 under your business name. You have 40 300K Apex accounts. You have the skill. You can pass them easily. It's not an issue. And you're taking, I don't know, 5 lots. I mean, maybe let's say you're conservative on that. And you're taking 2 lots times 40. You're taking 80 lots. What's an 80 lot? Every 10 pips is 8 bands. So times 12, 8,000 times 12, you're looking at $96,000 a year off 120 pips. This is forming up a little bit better for later. We just need to flip. We just need to flip, break the lows, and we're gone. Oh yeah, I stopped it for the video. Yeah, I was doing the math today, bro, and I was like, damn. I'm over here falling into greed, thinking I need to make more money faster, and not wanting to lose, slowing down my trade, my like journey to the payout, which caused me to not close a trade and lose massively on the trade. And I was thinking, I was like, bro, you caught over 1,000 pips in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. If you would have been using a 1 lot the whole time, that's 10,000 bucks, bro. You didn't need to get upset that you lost that trade, or that you were gonna lose it, so I continued to hold it. I could have taken the loss, because if you just look back, and if the lot sizes were increased, that would have been a $10,000 profit. 2 weeks, withdraw $5,000 payout, and if I did lose $1,000 in the day, who cares? I made 10 bands. You see what I'm saying? So like I was just thinking, I'm like, damn. I was thinking about the money during the trade, and thinking of how long it was going to take me to make it back, versus analyzing the trade and just staying in the trade and following my plan. And what happened? Something like this happened where I took a buy like here, and then I took another buy here, and then I took another buy here, and then by the time that we got down here, I couldn't hold any more drawdown, and I had to close the trade, and then this wick reversed, and price came all the way back up. I don't know about you, brother. I use 3. Trading View fucking is sleep. They changed the way that you can enter orders. We'll use the bathroom again. I'll be back. Yeah, we're all expecting this to dump. No, I paid 3 pips per entry. It depends, right? On the Nasdaq, I catch more pips, so it's worth it. We're coming back up to re-break these highs again for like the 5th time. And now we formed higher support. So unless the Asians bring it down, Like as soon as they got in, it just barcoded us. Whoa. I'm gonna take an entry here. What a drive, huh? Yeah, this would be my last final pineapple. Once we start breaking above these highs here, I'll start looking to manage risk. Yeah. I wish I would have been looking at both of them to notice the VWAP was different here. That might have deterred me a little bit from taking the entry. Yeah, it's going the wrong way. It sure is. Six minutes. a 35 pip pullback in few minutes. That should have been the other way, my boy. No, we're probably not really good until we start coming back down. Literally in profit. This could be a triple top here, right? So we could see another pullback, rejection off this area, and a push back down, which could give us a break-even trade here. Because right now, when this hourly closes, if we close above, we're going to need a bottom wick before a continuation up. So we're expecting the bottom wick to at least be 20 pips, 30 pips to get us out in profit. Yeah, about the same for me. $45 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Hourly is coming up. That's barely a top wick on the hourly too. This flip's bullish, it's gone. It's got to dump here. Just follow price action. Volume is like starting to come in. I can see the candles here starting to flicker. Yeah, it for sure can. Expecting these levels to be pretty strong though. Yeah, I try to call everything out that I do. But if the music's too loud on the YouTube end or the Discord end, then let me know and I can turn it down. Uh, Gold is playing with us. Emotional damage. Why? Yeah, that's what I'm noticing, Jay. Yes. I've been in a short since here. Should have been paying attention, dog. This candle flipped bearish, rejecting this level here on the 30-minute. It looked like it was going to flip bearish after the 30-minute closure below, and then I had an entry right here. I was looking for buys here, but I was in a trade already. Damn, you had an emergency? Hope everything is well, my brother. Nice. Those are good buy stops, Bougie. Those are really good buy stops. If price was what was to flip there, re-break the daily high, we would have seen at least another 20, 30 pips of drawdown before my stop loss area, and I would have had to start setting stops. Now we just had another closure below. Yeah. I have a really nice top wick on the 5 minute on my end. I don't know why there is none on the other side. 5 minute bearish closure back into range. That's a 15-minute closure. That 15-minute also closed bearish back into range. I would appreciate a top wick first and then a flick down. That would be a little bit better. That seems like what we got here. These candles are wild. Holy crap, we're gapping. Yeah, just be patient. Let's keep allowing candles to print. Everything is printing in our direction, and it's starting to look much better for us. So we just have to be patient. I know it fucking sucks. Instant drawdown, three pineapples deep, re-breaking the daily high multiple times, 7 pips away from entry. But I mean, everything is just forming properly for a continuation down. At least 5, 6 pips in profit, which on 3 entries would be about 15. So the more that I'm seeing, the more that I'm eyeing this area right here. So this is the area that I'm liking. Whereas here, we don't really have that level to all the way down here. These are some minor levels here. Where the 30-minute opened. Yeah, we have literally nothing in our way from continuing down. I don't see why this shouldn't continue down. Yeah, I'm holding a little longer. I don't see why this shouldn't continue down. Uh, we'll call it at 12 pips there. We're hitting the gap here. And what do I know about gaps? Every time that we retest that gap, we usually get that pullback. If I was in only one entry, I would hold that pullback, no problem. But because of the fact that we have a gap here, I don't want to retest the gap and then flip bullish. So that was what my target was here. That was supposed to be like 7 pips, which would have been 21. That should have been 11 pips. I don't know why it was only showing 4. That's kind of sketchy. Yeah, my entry was right here. Yeah, that was 8 pips. I don't know why it was only showing 4. Oh, my spreads are 2 to 3. What the hell? Damn, Eddie has slipped me. So I caught 9 pips after commissions. Am I gotta piss again? Dude, I'll be back. Yeah, that's a good dump. I was gonna hold for like 15, 20 pips to be honest. Um, but that gap there, bro. I don't like that gap. That gap goes against my strategy. It was a banger trade. It wasn't a bad trade. It was not a bad trade. We're back into range. Let me lower my lot size back. We don't have a top wick on this 5. That's irrelevant. We're starting to push down back into range. We have a 30-minute closure coming up in 8 minutes. Let's see what it do. Now that we've grabbed liquidity up here, we created a daily high again. We're about to re-break the daily low again. We can start seeing a push down, and maybe we can start looking for more entries down. And here we slammed right through the VWAP. We're rejecting the VWAP here on the 1 minute. If we can come back up, retest it, that would be very nice. Which is up here. If we can come up, close, retest it, and then come back down, I can look for sells in the rebreak of the low. Wop. Hey, bro. To be quite honest, I feel like straight shit. Hey, that's awesome. I appreciate you for coming to stream. This is your first stream. We went into drawdown and we got out of it and came back. I'm up 30 pips for the night. No, I'm up 20 pips for the night. Sorry. The 10 that I took earlier here, bam, and then the 10 that I took here. We would have seen max there before a pullback. We would have seen 17 pips on 3 positions, which is about 50 pips. Yeah, facts. See, you can't account for those 8 pips. So what you do is you wait for your break even and you give it a second. You give price a minute. Price decided to hover for a minute. That's some gay shit. I'm gonna close. When we closed, there was 4 pips, 12 pips across 3 entries. 12 pips minus the commissions. It took 2 pips away, so I made, or 3 pips away, so I made 9 pips. Which is technically a little bit more because I increased my lot size to 3. To 3 cons. County counts. And then this is gonna dump here. Contemplating taking sells here. Yeah, options. The rebreak of this low after this rejection of this resistance and the VWAP, that's kind of tough. But we are at this gap fill, right? What do I know about the gaps? Every time that we retest the gap, we get a similar move to what we got here. What was I doing on the Nasdaq today? We have a major gap to fill on the Nasdaq here on the daily highs. So the Nasdaq has a gap here somewhere, a major gap, and I think we just filled it. But what did I do? Every time that we came up to that gap, I rejected and I took sells. I took sells here, I took sells here, I took sells here again, and then I got stopped out break even on these final sells. But I shorted the Nasdaq all day. I shorted the Nasdaq here, shorted it here, and I think I took a buy here. My bad. That's what I did. I did short, short, buy on this final wick. Because this is an entire gap. This whole area here was a gap. We rejected the gap, never filled it. I took an entry again, rejected the gap, never filled it. Two sells and one buy here. I don't remember exactly where it was. This is an hourly candle, so there's probably multiple retests of these levels. If you like pina coladas, that's one of his strong levels. And that strong level just so happened to create a gap. So that's why I did not take any sells here because of that gap. And that's why I also closed my trade. But now we've closed back into range. The top of the range is this level here. So I would have to see a closure back above this level for proof that we're going to continue up. Hell yeah. If you're not in buys, you're sus. I'm just kidding. Un minuto for the 9:30. Un minuto. $20. This is starting to look primed. Prime, 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 prime. Prime time. I'm telling you what, the medication that I took earlier is starting to wear off, and I'm starting to feel like Dookie again. I think I'll be alright though. Get a bottom wick on the 30 and then a reflip bullish, unless this is going to be the top wick for a flip bearish and you guys are taking buys catching that top wick, in which case the entry would have had to be earlier. I can't take an entry now with no bottom wick. We could see a rejection there or all the way back at the daily highs. I have a buy stop. Wow. Right at the fucking wick. Nice. Spreads are a little high here. I am 10 pips away from your guys' entry. Yeah. This hourly flips bullish now after grabbing all these orders at the lows, retesting that gap fill, creating a bottom wick for that 30-minute candle. Um, I don't like how this doesn't 30-minute doesn't have a bottom wick. We could see a retest of that open before flipping bullish, but I don't think we should. I think this should just continue and flip the hourly. This is the first 6 minutes of the 30, so it might take another couple 5-minute candles to flip us. Maybe another closure back above. We did retested this area. This is where we have the support that pushes us up to the highs. So we have to start respecting these levels here to prove that we're still going up. I'm honestly expecting this daily high to re-break. I'm gonna leave a runner on this one once we start breaking these highs again. Once this 5 flips, that should be gone. Two minutes to flip. This is struggling. Break. We should see a pop now. What a bitch. One pip away from my fucking TP. I'll tell you what though. I could probably extend this if we do flip again. We just had a 5-minute closure. The 5-minute close, kind of no top wick. We came down for the bottom wick first. So we should flip and see some sort of movement here. Hmm. I'm gonna close it here at 3 pips. Fuck that. I'm getting mixed signals here. So I'm getting the 30-minute flipping bearish here. I'm getting the hourly flipping bullish here. I'm getting this 15-minute flipping bearish here. I'm getting this 5-minute flipping bullish here. And I'm getting this 1-minute creating resistance flipping bearish. So everything is telling me a different story. I'm out. Yeah, if it comes back up, it can. But I'm getting mixed signals from every single time frame. Where here, the only area where I saw we were finally flipping bullish was right here. And I said, all right, once we flip bullish, that shit's gone. Yeah, if you guys are still in this, that's straight. But I'm sorry, every time frame was telling me a different scenario. 20 pips for the session. Sorry, 10. What is NQ doing? Oh, look, NQ is about to re-break the daily high. But we got ugly levels here. A lot of levels there, buddy boy. Yeah, I don't give a shit what price is doing, to be honest. I really don't care if it drives or if it doesn't. The hourly was telling me we're flipping bullish. The 30-minute was telling me we're about to flip bearish after no top wick for sells after respecting the highs. The 15-minute was telling me the same thing after two consecutive 15-minute bearish candles. The 5-minute was telling me, yes, that we were flipping back bullish. And the 1-minute told me that we were starting to respect the order block that we formed here and started flipping back down. So bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. I'm out. Fuck that shit. There's about 12 pips, and then this is where the runner would be at. But I'm not interested in any more drawdown, especially this close to the hourly closure, this close to the 15-minute closure. This 15-minute needs to pull back and give us a top wick. The next candle needs to come down, create a bottom wick forward, and then flip a bullish in order for it to be valid. So with all of that playing out, I would rather not be in that entry. But NQ is coming up to break the daily highs. But we just have so much resistance here. And at 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, that's probably not going to happen. Knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. It's all good. I ran out of ganja. How else am I gonna get better? Either way, that would have been a closure at 12 pips, 75%, and the runner would have been stopped out break even. Yeah, mixed signals. This is what I was afraid of happening earlier. Drop down a little further, maybe into this zone, I might take a wick entry buy. These nuts. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. What up, Dev? People keying Teslas and shit. Bunch of gays. You can try to keep my car if you want. I got some bear spray for your ass. How'd you guys do on this trade? On the last two? Are we done? Yeah, I would say so. I was looking for possible wick entries here. But the hourly is about to close, right? We're closing back into range. So what are we going to do? Range for the rest of the night? Which means if we are, we need a top wick to the top of the range and then a continuation down. We have support here. We're starting to form a trend upwards here. Bing, 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 bing. The only way that I would be able to take another entry early within the next hourly, if this next hourly would have came up and closed like this all the way up here, and then a bottom wick and a flip bullish would have been nice. But the fact that the lower time frame is starting to close back in range, we flipped on the. See, the reason why I closed here is the same reason why I closed here. Here it gave us 8 pips past our entry before reversing. Here it gave us 16 pips past our entry before reversing. Both of these showed me I was incorrect at the breakout, so I needed to manage risk. I didn't know that this was going to come up 16 pips before reversing. The idea was for a continuation. Because it didn't continue, it's giving more validity to my break even. Yo, what up, Alfredo? Look at this dump last minute. Moderators control the chat, and if somebody's out of line or talking shit or saying something that can get me banned on YouTube, they would delete them or mute them for a minute or 30 seconds. I allow anything. You can say whatever you want. 275 on bench is my bitch. I need to be able to hit that. My throat's killing me. I took some melatonin though, and I got a little bit more tea to drink, so I should be Gucci. Alfredo weighs 342 pounds. You're lost with my jargon. Give me a word and I'll give you a full detailed dictionary explanation. Oh. Oh yeah. I say some crazy words. Alright, so we're starting to break the trend here. And this is still a higher low technically. Until we break this low, close below, and form a lower low, we haven't broken structure really. I mean, we did break structure here. So structure is shifting here. We close bearish New York. You think London we continue bearish? Hourly closure. Hourly is going to be closing no top wick, tiny bottom wick, trash. The previous hourly has the same. That closed our 4 hourly doji. Yeah. Maybe some sells aren't bad. But we need a top wick. And then a break of the lows. Same thing happened here. Bam, bam, bam. Tried to break the low, failed, and then came up. Oh, wow. Catch you in the morning, my brother. Have a good night, everybody.